Well, good evening and welcome to what we hope will be a very special evening, not the end of season awards dinner. As we know, following Super Sunday, the season is very much still alive. So tonight we look back over what's been an amazing season for Oxford United. I'd like to thank our friends at AWBS for their continued support and for sponsoring this, our first ever online awards evening. Also thanks to our commercial partners for the season, Amazing Thailand, Polythene UK, Chalco, Puma and IFX. Also thanks to our friends at Grundon Waste Management, the Thai Tin, Trip Hearing and the Cabling Company who've sponsored the awards you're going to find out more about over the course of the next hour and a half. We've also got some very special guests for you tonight. Of course, we've got the winners, but let's start with a man who'd love to be here tonight, but sadly has spent the whole campaign watching our games from the other side of the world. It's about 3 o'clock in Thailand, but Tiger has sent us a very special message for you, for Carl, and for the players.
Okay, before I say something official, I just want to tell you, I still hangover from last night. The feeling from last night that we made it to the playoff. Okay, now it's official. Good evening, everyone. I hope you are enjoying a great evening tonight. It is such a shame that we cannot be together tonight, but I hope the online awards evening brings back some great memories of what has been an unforgettable season. I remember a year ago to the playoff after award. If the season had ended on the pitch, I'm 100% sure that we're gonna have one automatic promotion. No need for a playoff. Losing at Wembley hurt everyone. My family would tell you, I didn't speak to anyone for almost a week. It's really hurt. Maybe we expect too much for the players to come back and start the season on top form. I think we play okay, and we were unlucky in some games, but we found ourselves bottom of the league, and people were asking questions. But not me. I always knew we had good players, and you should proud of yourself, and that we will start getting results. I was telling people we will reach the playoff. Maybe people thought I had to say it because I'm a chairman, but no, I truly believe it because I truly believe in Carl and to Shorty. I mean Chris and Craig, to Ed, Den and Warren, Mark, Wayne, Amy, okay, and anyone and everyone, all the staff that I didn't mention the name. And Sunday, we beat Burn, and it's turned a dream into a real life. I watched it. After 3-0, I was watching Portsmouth more than us, but we did it. We are in the playoff, and we have a chance to go to championship. I still believe that we're going to championship this season. So everyone, the job is not finished yet, but I have not been to England for 14 months. I want to be there for Wembley. Tonight is a chance to look back at the season and look at the players, goals, moments that we deserve awards. I'm not sure that everyone that have been looking. We scored 77 goals. It's a lot. You look at championship, look at the Premier League. We score more than what they did. So, but don't forget, we have many goals that we save also. Okay, I remember on 18th of April, we played with Gillingham. After the game, I text Wayne, go get the Stephen a hug for me, please. Tell him the hug from Tiger. And then again on May 1st, with Shrewsbury. I text Wayne after the game that, give Jack a hug and a kiss, but kiss on the cheek, but not on the lip though. Anyway, but never forget the work we have done in the community, the great players coming through in the academy or the hard work from all the staff. You all deserve awards for keeping the club moving forward, especially through this difficult year. I will be watching tonight with all the fans, and I hope you have a drink by your side ready to salute the winners. Last but not least, congratulations to everyone who wins, and see you at Wembley. I mean it. See you at Wembley.
Well, did Jack Stephens ever get that kiss? Maybe we'll find out later in the evening. Infectious enthusiasm as always from our chairman. We can't wait to see him and you back at an Oxford United game in a not too distant future. He alluded there to some great memories throughout the season. It's been a campaign of many emotions. Let's take a look back at some of those key events which have seen the U's secure a playoff place for the second consecutive season.
I think the belief in the dressing room, like I keep saying, is so good, and we want to win every game.
If we can perform like that every week and score like that, then we're in every game, and we've got a possibility of ending up where we want to end up.
Whatever comes of the Football League season, whatever our outcome is, I'm proud that he's playing.
Well, some great memories there from a truly remarkable season. And it's time for our first guest and award of the evening. The first award tonight is for the Grundon Waste Management Young Player of the Year. It's awarded each campaign to a player aged 23 or under who's made the greatest impact. It's decided by the first team management and coaching staff at the club, plus members of the Oxford United Academy management team. To tell us more about it, our first guest joining me live at United's very impressive training ground is our Academy manager, Dan Harris. Dan, good evening to you. It's been the most remarkable season. How have you had to adapt and cope in terms of your job and what you do with the Academy?
Yeah, I think you're right. It's been a remarkable season for everybody, really, across every part of society, every part of the club. Of course, we've had to adapt like everyone has. There's been a huge amounts of remote working like everyone's got used to these days, and staff working all around the country in different parts of the world, and players maybe being disrupted in terms of the training program, all the kind of things that every club's faced. But I think the unique kind of advantage we've had here is we've got such a great staff of people here. We've got some real high quality individuals working on the staff from the board right way through to the kind of part-time staff, and probably in those tough moments, in those moments of potential crisis, that's where you see the calibre of people step in. So yeah, we've had to adapt, but certainly on the academy side of things, the quality of the staff we've got around has really helped us with that, you know.
And of course, over the season, very proud for you to see players like Leon Chambers-Paralon, Michael Lecce, Curran Lofthouse all being involved, and even forget Gatlin O'Donkor, 16 years old and 55 days, coming on and then scoring in that penalty shootout.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, we're all fans, let's be honest, when we work for the club. So seeing the men's first team do so well and the women's first team do outstandingly well, obviously pre-Christmas as well, and that just gives us a real buzz as fans first and foremost. And then, yeah, from an academy point of view, I think when you look at the top end and you see your Sam Longs, Jack Stevens, your Matty Taylors, Josh Ruffles, all of them have been in the academy system at some point over the last 10 years or so. That really sets the benchmark for that next generation. And then, yeah, some of the young lads have had the opportunity to be in and around the first team on kind of small occasions this year, and they've got to really take that first taste of that experience and raise their expectation levels, raise their level again to hopefully make sure that becomes more regular occurrence.
When you walk around here at the training ground and you see the sort of academy corner and the list of all the players, it's 107 now who've come through the academy to play for the first team. That must be inspiring to look at on a daily basis, because not many clubs have got a step quite like this at this level.
Yeah, I think one of the things that attracted me to the role, one of the things that I love when we speak to parents is, this club's best part of 128 years old, and it was built on the foundation of trying to give an outlet for young people to stay out of trouble and to stay out of mischief, when you look at the history of the club at Headington United. So I think there's that sense of youth being inherent to the football club as a whole. And then again, going right through the years, we're standing on the shoulders of the giants a little bit in terms of the work that Les Taylor and Rosie did for a long time on the community side of things. And then obviously last 3.5 years, had the chance to kind of lead that part of the programme and hopefully build on that good success historically, and to try and really put some pride back in the youth development system of the football club that was already there, but actually can we take it to the next level in the same way the whole club's looking to move to the next level. So yeah, really excited to be part of it, and certainly pleased to play a small part in that,
Lots of discussions about squad sizes, how many players may be allowed in squads in the future. Do you think clubs will have to blood younger players earlier because of that restriction, perhaps?
Not necessarily. I think it really comes down to the quality of player. If you're good enough, you're old enough, and ultimately I think that we can get quite caught up on quotas and squad lists and salary caps that have fallen by the wayside, all that kind of thing. Ultimately, our role at this club and the role of all youth development systems is to say, can you produce young players that are equipped for the reality of big boys football, that are equipped for the reality of the business, but at the same time, ultimately, have got enough quality to go and make the team better. We talk to our young players about not just making the team, but make it better. And this year, that's hard because the first team are flying, and that's a great challenge for our young lads to say, how can I raise my expectation? Can I raise my level to make sure that I'm relevant moving forward?
You've talked about the good part of the job and seeing those young players coming in. Of course, every year the horrible task is telling some players their future will lie elsewhere, but you've only got to look at players like Matty Taylor to know that that's not always the end.
Absolutely right, and I think we as a football club recognise we've got a responsibility that goes with the privilege of doing this job, which is, our strapline as an academy is to invest in the lives of young footballers, and we recognise that even if they have a really long career, they're still retiring at 35, 36 with the whole life ahead of them after that. And so we've got a responsibility to invest in that kind of off the field part of it as well, the academic side of things, which is synonymous with Oxford anyway, and then the life skills. I'm fiercely proud to see high quality young men go on to become high quality husbands, fathers, men, employees in years to come. And of course, our primary responsibility is to produce players for the elite end of the game. But there's also that underlying kind of under the waterline piece that we take very seriously.
And for next season, for those players that are staying on and the new players coming through into the academy, how excited are you?
Yeah, I think we're all excited about the idea of hopefully just being able to get back to what we love doing, which is interacting on a daily basis with people face to face. You know, that's the bit we're looking forward to. We're first and foremost looking forward to supporting the first team like everyone else is over the next 2 weeks. You know, in terms of really excited about the Blackpool game and all that holds, and hopefully the games beyond that as well. And yeah, our short-term aim is to finish the season strongly and support Carl and the staff there as much as we possibly can do, whilst he also builds the next season. And yeah, we're looking forward to being back out on the grass and seeing the little teeny tiny 7-year-olds come in, and the more kind of world-weary 21, 22-year-olds is at the top end of the youth development program. But yeah, really excited about the future, excited about the direction of travel the board are looking to take the club in. And yeah, it's been a real tough year. We're not going to kind of play that a little bit, but this club is built on firm foundations, and we're excited about where we're going next.
Well, you mentioned next couple of weeks and the Blackpool game, of course. One man who's played a big part in United's surge to the playoffs is the winner of the Grundon Waste Management Young Player of the Year award. And the winner is Jack Stevens. We'll be hearing from Jack very shortly. But first of all, here's some of the reasons why he's won this in his breakthrough season. Congratulations then to Jack Stevens, who joins us now. Jack, a very good evening to you. Hopefully you've unmuted yourself so we can chat to you. Some great saves across the season. Jack, do you have a favourite amongst those?
I'd say maybe my favourite is the Charlton game. With last kick of the game. That doesn't happen very often. And yeah, in the end, it was a really important moment. Seeing as it was us and Charlton right to the end, so that probably takes it for me.
The Shrewsbury game and those two very late saves that you made. Our match summariser that day, Eddie Odiambo, is a former teammate of yours at Oxford City, I think, as well. Firmly tongue-in-cheek, said during our commentary, "I wish Jack would stop giving away corners like that. Can't he catch one next time?" But they were truly two fantastic saves. The first one especially. That's obviously natural talent, but is that also hours of hard work paying off in the training ground, working on those reflexes like that?
Yeah, I think so. I think we have a real strong goalkeeper and department down at Oxford. Me, Brownie, and Stu. We've been together a long time now, and we work hard every day, and we push each other. And yeah, I've got to give a lot of thanks to Brownie. He's been with me ever since I joined Oxford and sort of brought me through. And that's something we work on every day. And thankfully, I was there on the day to make the saves.
You got your chance and took it with both hands, if you'll excuse the pun, as a goalkeeper. Is it harder, though, as a keeper when you come into a side in the circumstance that you did? Because generally keepers come into a side when things maybe aren't going so well. It's a harder position to come into. You don't get that time to hit the ground running like perhaps an outfield player might do. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think so. But I think the way we train every day and the way Brownie has us training is that you got to be ready whenever your opportunity does come. And yeah, I felt like I was ready. I felt confident, and thankfully the gaffer had the faith in me to chuck me in, and yeah, I've enjoyed every minute of it. You've
played at the Kassam Stadium when there's been people behind the goal, well, one end anyway. But over this campaign, with there being no fans in the ground, has it been quite hard to keep your focus sometimes, and you're almost a lonely figure watching from where you are inside the 18-yard box?
Yeah, well, it's definitely one thing I've missed this season. I think of all the good moments and just think that's the only thing missing really, is just having the fans there and having that sort of connection, me being the closest person to them on the pitch. That's one thing I'm really looking forward to, even in the next game, the first game against Blackpool, hearing that there could be fans in then. So that's one thing I'm really looking forward to. And then going on next season, hopefully we can get full capacity back and just have a real good relationship with the fans. And I think everyone misses them, and they'll really make a big difference as soon as we get back.
There were some big penalty saves this season. You mentioned the Charlton one as well. You've talked about Wayne Brown. Give us an insight into your preparation yourself and with Wayne and with Eastie as well, and what goes on between those few seconds when the penalty is awarded before you face it. Some of those signals we see you getting from the bench. What's the secret? Can you tell us?
Yeah, so we do a lot of analysis. Up to the game, Brownie works hard on looking into the history of where each penalty taker might go, and statistics, and then we have an educated guess, and that's all it is really. And then I sort of get an idea from Brownie of where he thinks it might go, and at the end of the day, it's a bit of a lottery. And thankfully, on those occasions, we were right, and I managed to make the save. So, but yeah, it's a thing leading up to the game. We look into everything in a lot of detail.
And big saves they were as well at vital moments, those penalties. Coming into a massive couple of weeks now, a lot of the squad have got the experience of playoff games from last season. Of course, you were watching on from the bench. Do you class these coming up as the biggest games now of your career?
Yeah, I'd like to think so. They're massive games for the club and for myself, and I'm really excited. I can't wait to get out there. I think we're in a great spot at the minute. I think we're on a great run. I feel like the belief is really high within the group, and I feel like, why can't we go all the way? I feel like on our day we can beat anyone in this league, and I feel like we just got to go into it with loads of confidence and keep playing as well as we can, and hopefully that takes us all the way, and we'll see what happens.
It may, of course, go to penalties. You never know. But Jack, just finally, congratulations. And I imagine you're very proud to take the award tonight. Yeah,
very proud. Thanks for the awards. And big credit to all my teammates and especially the back four. They've been really solid all season. And thanks a lot. Have a good evening.
Well, thank you to you, Jack, as well. Congratulations. The Grundon Young Player of the Year is Jack Stevens. For this Oxford United season. We wish Jack well, and of course his teammates coming into those Blackpool games. More on those as the evening progresses. For now, we move on to our next award, though, the Women's Player of the Year award, sponsored by Tight In. The women's season saw them pushing for the title in the National League before lockdown. After Christmas ended their season early, there was still time for an amazing FA Cup run, and the women are still training for friendlies as well. We're hearing from the club captain, Lauren Haynes, in just a second. Before we do that, though, let's take a look at some of the highlights from their campaign.
Headed in at goal, and it's off the line. It is on the back of the net. Oh, dear me!
What a goal!
Goal! That's a worldie.
Some great goals and some fantastic moments there. Of course, the campaign for the women's team. The team themselves are training as we speak, so we caught up with Lauren Haynes earlier this week to hear her thoughts on the season.
First of all, what were you meant to be doing when you came up to the training ground tonight?
Yeah, just overseeing our girls' academy. So we've got our foundation phase, our 10s, 11s, 12s up here tonight training ahead of their fixtures at the weekend. So yeah, just overseeing that, checking in on the players and coaches. And
you walk in, Carl Robinson has stayed late. You were dreading him saying hello and telling you news. You knew something bad was going to happen, didn't you?
I was either something bad or something I weren't quite sure about. Obviously walking over and see you, Les and Carl looking at me grinning, didn't quite know what was in store, to be
it's
fair.
very suspicious when I
a little
together.
bit.
Congratulations, you are the Women's Player of the Season. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's a great achievement. I wasn't expecting it. When he just said over there, I was a little bit like, what? But no, yeah, really, really honoured considering the season that we've had. We were fortunate to be allowed fans early doors, so that was lovely. And then obviously with the live stream of games, it's been great that our games have been able to be seen by Oxford United fans and just football fans in general. So yeah, it just seems an honour to receive the award.
Who would have got your vote?
You would have got my vote. Yeah. The players have been excellent this year. And I think
fence goes there.
I think it would be unfair to single certain individuals out. Players have been consistent this year. I think Carly John's been fantastic. The way that she's developed, the way that she's taken opportunity within the year this year, and she scored some fantastic and important goals for us. I'll always say my midfield partner Kaylee Hines, give her the ball, she does spectacular things, and them two for me have been really, really good and consistent.
The season overall, second season in a row, it was kind of stop-start. I mean, you were in a fantastic position until it all got stopped again, didn't it?
Yeah, we just haven't had much luck in the last couple of seasons. The first, we go back 2 years ago now, and it gets null and void because of COVID, which, yes, fair play. We do fantastic recruitment. We work hard in the off season, we work hard in the lockdowns, and we get ourselves in a phenomenal league position. Second in the league with a game in hand, we win that, we're top, and it's unfortunate it's come to an end, but I think it just goes to show that the movement and growth that we've had in the women's team and the whole setup in recent years, and it's been proven this year.
Each year it seems to move the right direction. I'll give you a chance to plug what you're passionate about, developing the best local young girl footballers coming through and stuff. I know you've got trials coming up and stuff like this. There's a clear pathway, a clear progression, isn't there? Yeah,
I think just the way women's football is in general, I don't think, just Oxford United are doing the right things. I think, the whole country is, from the WSL Championship into the national leagues, and the things that they're doing at the top of the ladder and the top of the chain has just influenced everyone around. So how well the Lionesses are doing, and teams in the Super League, it's just influencing those younger generations of players, and then that's where we step in and we take them homegrown players, the girls living around Oxford, we take her, we nurture them, and then we want them to be Oxford United women's first team players and to come and play on the pitch. And we've got our academy, our RTC, from under 8s through to 16s. We've now got a development squad in place, which is our under 23s into senior football, and we see players progressing through all the time, and like Carly Johns now from the RTC development squad, first team, just kind of shows the potential that our programme has.
It's one club, everybody's in this together. Carl talks to you all the time, he's out there watching the coaching going on. It is one club. I want to mention at this stage of the evening a man who was very influential on me and very influential on you. We stood together at Mickey Lewis's funeral. I just want to mention for the people at home, it's not just the player, the first team coach. He had a massive influence on you and football right across Oxfordshire, correct?
Yeah, massively. Mickey is such a big influence in my life, and one of the reasons I worked where I work is because of Mickey. And I think I learned so much from him, not coaching, not playing, but just life skills. In the short amount of time I worked with him closely, and my dad would kill me and said, but he is like a second dad. You could go to him for anything. he always had a smile on his face. He always had a cup of tea in his hand as well. And, you know, he's inspired so many coaches, players and just people. And, you know, it's such a shame. But I say it to everybody, you know, we'll never forget him, and his legacy definitely lives on.
So congratulations to Lauren, captain of our women's team. We wish them well, of course, for the new season as well. This is our awards evening with AWBS, and delighted to welcome another captain to our night, club captain John Mousinho. John, a very good evening to you.
Evening, just trying to get myself in the centre of the screen. How are you?
Yeah, looking good, John, looking good. A real season of highs and lows from your point in terms of the injury this campaign. Sunday, of course, a major high. How's the season been for you personally?
Yeah, it's been an interesting one. Obviously, starting off the year and injuring my knee quite badly was an interesting one. I did it, I think, a long time before it became public knowledge. I think I did it back in the first League Cup game that we played against Watford. You know, fortunately at that stage I was able to carry on, I think, until December. But at which point it just became a bit too much of a risk to actually play with it in league competition. So it's been, from a playing point of view, obviously disappointing because I've not featured as much as I'd like to, but I've been really lucky in the fact that I've been able to contribute on the coaching side, and the manager's been brilliant with that. He's very much made sure that I have been involved throughout the season. I'm sure, as everybody has seen. And it's something that I've really enjoyed. I've managed to keep involved with the competition on Tuesdays and on Saturdays, and that means that I think that's meant that the rehab and the monotonous nature of it is actually become quite enjoyable. And then, yeah, obviously to see the team progress so brilliantly from what was a really perilous position at the start of the season is incredible. And I think, especially considering the fact in the last 2 or 3 months we've lost games that have seemed really crucial. We've lost games that. You know, I've spoken to people separately, and they sort of said, you know, this is it. This is the time that we're going to have to, you know, win or bust. And we've lost them, and we still managed to come back. We still managed to bounce back, and to put ourselves in this position, I think, is absolutely incredible, and a real massive achievement for everyone involved in the football club.
And away from United, there's been the news, of course, of your new PFA role recently as well. Tell us about that and how it might affect, if at all, your involvement with United on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, I mean, it won't affect my involvement with Oxford at all. It's something that I've been doing for the past 5 or 6 years now, not in the role as chair. So that's going to take up a bit more time away from the training ground and away from the games. But something I'm just going to have to balance and make sure I juggle appropriately. And you know, it's an exciting role. It's something that I've been really passionate about for the past few years, and really something that I'm looking to grasp with both hands. But at the same time, you know, not lose sight of the fact that you know, I still want to come back and play a part on the playing side of it next season.
Is it good for the club to have somebody in that position, and you have to be quite careful to balance out the role of that and with Oxford United?
Yeah, you know, whether it's good for the club or not, I don't know. I am, you know, essentially representing the union, so sometimes there are disputes with football clubs, but in my time at Oxford, there's never been a single one. So it's always been great. I know the club treat players properly, and the club treat players as they should, and that's brilliant. So it'll be very interesting. You know, hopefully it enhances the position of the club having one of their players in that position, and yeah, something that I'll have to, you know, make sure I devote you know, the correct amount of time to playing, as well as performing my role. But again, something that I'm really looking forward to doing.
I'm glad you mentioned playing next season. That was one of our final questions to talk to you about, the fact that you very much view yourself still next season as a player more than a member of the coaching staff.
Yeah, that's my plan at the moment, and I've been going for, I think, 17 weeks, and you know, this is precisely, that's the way that they tend to work in the physiotherapy department. So 17 weeks today that I had the surgery, and coming along really nicely. I've been out on the pitch for the past 4 weeks and pretty much close to 100% with everything that I'm doing. And one of my thoughts throughout the situation was, you know, if I came back and the knee wasn't right, then I'd call it a day. But everything feels absolutely fine, and I've been lucky enough to be able to keep myself in pretty good physical shape for the majority of my career anyway. So it's something I definitely want to explore coming back to. I still think I've got a lot to offer on the playing side. You know, probably in less of a role than it has been in the past few years, but you know, certainly want to come back and try and play. And I still really enjoy it. I still love the you know, the smell of match days and everything that goes with it. So really something that, yeah, I want to come back, and it'll be the 6 month mark mid-July in terms of when I get back from surgery, and that's just about right for this injury. So pre-season will be the time when I get back at it and really have another crack.
The pitch as soon as possible, but there's a couple of young pups who are doing rather well in your absence in Elliot Moore, Rob Atkinson. Just how good have they been this season?
I think they've been two of our best players. I think what you have to take into account with both of them as well, particularly with Rob, is that this is both of them is their first full season playing professional league football, and that's a really, really significant achievement considering the position and considering the amount of responsibility they've had to take on, especially in Elliot's case where he's taken on the role of captain as well. So for Rob to come from non-league, perform as well as he's done, and for Elliot to come from a higher level and fit in, because there's plenty of players that do that and don't work, it doesn't work out for them in the Football League. They've been absolutely brilliant. They've really defended brilliantly well. They've started a lot of our attacks. I think Elliot in particular has grown into that role, like I said, as captain. And no surprise, I think a lot of people are talking about them for the right reasons. So I think Saturday was another brilliant example. We were pretty under a lot of pressure for the first 25 minutes against Burton. Sunday, sorry. And they just, the two of them and obviously the more experienced fullbacks just defended brilliantly well. And that really gives us a platform to go on and actually have some success this season.
Well, John, thank you for joining us. As always, with the award ceremonies, we're running late already, so we could talk to you for a lot longer, but we wish you well, especially, of course, for the playoffs, and thanks for your company this evening.
No problem. Pleasure. See you later.
Cheers, John. We turn now to our next award, which is the Trip Hearing Goal of the Season. 5 goals, 5 stunning goals that you've been voting for. Well, plenty of deserving goals there that could take goal of the season. Only one winner, though, and it's goal E. That fabulous Maisie run and finish in a club record equaling away victory at Crewe. The winner, Brandon Barker. And Brandon joins us now. Brandon, a very good evening to you. Not a bad season for yourself. A Scottish Premier League winner with Rangers, an Oxford Derby goal, and the Goal of the Season award. I think that's the first.
It's been a successful year up to now, and obviously it's nice to receive this award. There was a bunch of great goals to choose from, and I'm thankful that I got it.
We just looked at the goal again a second ago. Where does it stand in your favourites in your career thus far?
It's definitely up there. Yeah, I think it's out one of two. I scored a nice goal away to Leeds versus when I was playing for Preston. So out of them two, they'll live with me for a long time.
I'll be looking. If it's better than that goal, I want to see it, definitely. What's going through your mind when you pick the ball up just inside their half?
To be honest, I was thinking I haven't really done much this game, so I better pull my finger out and try and make something happen. So it just opened up for me nicely, and luckily it went in, and it was a good goal.
You scored a similar goal at Swindon, not the same sort of run, but that cutting inside of the right foot and finishing. A lot of Oxford fans in years to come will remember the goal at Swindon, perhaps even more than the goal at Crewe, being a Derby goal. Were you aware of just how important that strike was at the time at Swindon?
I had a long chat with the gaffer before it, and he told me what it meant to the fans. So, it was a special game, and luckily we got the 2-0 win, and it was great to be a part of that. And obviously, my goal took about 12 deflections on the way in, but everyone counts. So yeah, I was buzzing to score in that game.
Deflections like penalty shootouts against Swindon, they don't count. It's fine. It's your goal. It's no problem at all. What was it like coming in and settling into the club, coming in when you did in January? Elliot Lee, another player at the same sort of time who came in as well. You've had loan spells in the past, but how do you find that coming in and settling into a new club so quickly?
To be fair, it was quite easy. I think the only thing that was hard, because COVID, we weren't all allowed to be in the change room and stuff, so that was quite difficult. But I found it quite easy. I came in and played straight away, so obviously that always helps. And I found my feet quite quickly, and I was waiting on my fitness to kick in, and now it seems fine. So yeah, now ready to give one last push for the fans, and hopefully we can get the job done.
You read my mind. You mentioned the injury. Obviously not involved on Sunday. We were told at the time, almost precautionary. You wanted to play, but how do you feel going into these games against Blackpool? Are you fighting fit and ready?
I think I definitely am now. It was a game that came a bit soon for my knee and my hamstring, and I wasn't 100%, but I was still ready to play if called upon. And the gaffer made the decision not to risk it, and it was a great decision in the end. It's given me an extra week to settle, and now I'll be absolutely ready for the playoffs.
And one final question, Brandon, if you can talk much about this or not, but any ideas about what next season may bring from your point of view, where you might be playing your football?
I'm not sure. It depends what my parent club decide to do, really. I don't want to disrespect them and start saying where I might not be. But I've loved my time here, and we'll just see what happens. We've still got a job to do, and we're not being overwhelmed by being in the playoffs now. We want to go and really give it a good go and try and get promoted. So yeah, I'm really excited for that.
Another goal like Crewe, or enough your backside, it won't matter against Blackpool, will it? Best of luck in those games, Brandon. Thank you very much indeed. Congratulations.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Bye-bye.
So that's Brandon Barker. Goal E, our goal of the season winner. One of many great goals this season. And in fact, there was a goal that came a bit too late to be in the vote. Otherwise, who knows? It may have been a different story. We can't let goal of the season pass without Sam Winnall's thunderbolt volley against Burton on Sunday. Let's take a quick look at that one. Another fantastic strike, and well done to Sam Winnall. One man who knows where the back of the net is regularly is joining us shortly as we announce the winner of the Grundon Waste Management Golden Boot Award. The Grundon Waste Management Golden Boot winner, of course, Matty Taylor. And Matty joins us this evening as well. Good evening to you, Matty. 18 goals and counting, and still time for 20 this season.
Hi, Nate. How you doing? Be nice, wouldn't it? Get a few more goals. We're looking forward to the obviously playoff games again, and fingers crossed we can go one better than last year.
You and I spoke after the game on Saturday, or Sunday as it was. For those that maybe didn't hear it, it was your 50th appearance of the season on Saturday. You played every league game apart in all of them. Stats you were very proud of as one of these, shall we say, elder statesmen at the club.
Thanks for that. Yeah, of course, very proud of it. Managed to keep myself fit and healthy all season, which is obviously a bonus. And yeah, just thankful I was available for all those games and managed to participate in all of the league games. Yeah.
In the end, I think quite a clear winner of the Golden Boot. For a while, Mide Shadipo was nipping away, wasn't he, and chipping with a few goals just to keep you keen?
Yeah, Mide's obviously scored a lot of goals this year, and then all the defenders have chipped in with quite a few. Obviously, El, Sams, but yeah, I managed to sneak away at the end and get a few clear of them.
Do you feel the pressure as a centre forward, especially when perhaps things aren't going quite so well? Does it weigh on the mind sometimes that you're the number one man to provide the goals?
It does when you're missing them, yeah. Yeah, no, I'll just keep getting in the box, and I'm just thankful I've obviously got really good teammates that just keep putting it on a plate for me, and I'm in there sniffing around 6-yard box most of the time, and yeah, I've just got to pay tribute to everyone that's putting in the balls and the passes to help me put it in the net.
From the 18 goal scorers, remember all their goals generally. Is there one that really sticks in the mind for you from this campaign?
Yeah, well, the Swindon one, but unfortunately it's dampens it a bit by the result. But yeah, I really enjoyed that one, and then obviously the 2 goals against Rovers was nice as well, to be honest.
Thought you might say those. Blackpool coming up now in the playoffs. Some will say that they're the favourites because of their position. Others will say United are very much a form team, the way that you've charged into the playoffs. Can there be a favourite over what's effectively a 2-legged cup tie now?
I think obviously your form helps going into the playoffs, but yeah, now it's a knockout competition, isn't it? So it does get thrown out the window a bit. We know we've got 2 very, very tough games against Blackpool now. I think they kept the most clean sheets, haven't they, this year out of anyone? So we know it'll be such a tough game, but we're fully motivated to hopefully go one better than last year.
I imagine I know the answer to this, or the proper answer, but would you swap the Golden Boot now for the promotion campaign?
No, absolutely. I think I said to you the other week, we don't mind who scores as long as we're winning games. Obviously, it's nicer. It's my main job and stuff, and it is nice when you finish the weekend with a win and a goal. But yeah, winning's the most important thing. And yeah, of course, I'd swap it for a promotion yesterday, to be honest.
Well, I'm sure we'll have more fans watching tonight. Thank you for the goals you have scored this season to get United into this wonderful position. Matty Taylor, congratulations, the Golden Boot winner for this year.
Cheers, Nate. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Matt, and well done to all of our winners so far this evening. At a more usual end of season awards night, we'll be reaching for the main course about now, maybe a cold one or 2 as well, and there'd be an actual chance for people to take a comfort break as well. So we'll do the same right now. Plenty more to come over the next hour or so, though. The Players' Player of the Year, there's the Fans' Player of the Season, plus some very special guests, and that's all to come as we return at around 8 o'clock. Welcome back to the second half of our end of season awards evening with AWBS. Still to come, two very special awards as voted for by you, the supporters, and also by the players. But first, it's time to hear from the gaffer. It's been a long, hard season that Carl has led the club through. None of us will ever forget what's happened over the campaign, though. So let's have a chat with him now. Welcome. Good evening to you, Carl.
Good evening.
You've often said to me in the past that you could write a book on your time at United, things on the field and off it. But this campaign is several chapters worth, isn't it?
Yes, it's probably the sequel in some ways. It's a whole new book. I know me and Chris Williams have joked quite a lot about the things that we've had to experience this year, and it's been something that I hope we never have to experience again. But the big thing, I think I've said a number of times, not just to you on air, but to fans when I see them in the street, is I don't think people truly understand how hard this group of players have actually worked. They've been immense, and I'm immensely proud of them as well, and so should all the fans, and I know they are, because with the messages that we get.
It's been a punishing season, hasn't it? Mentally and physically. I mean, we find it, even with the commentary, the fans often help to sort of paint the picture that we can talk about, and you can sometimes take the lead for the pace of the commentary from the fans, and we've struggled just in our role sometimes. That must be minuscule compared to how it is for you.
Yeah, it's surreal. You've been lucky enough to be in stadiums when this has been the new norm, and it's not something that you'd ever really want to get used to, and we won't have to get used to, hopefully. Just around the corner, having hopefully 4,000 fans in the game against Blackpool will be amazing for us. But it's been strange. It's been something that you're trying to keep the players going. You could be winning 2-0, losing 2-0. There's no emotion to the game because of the lack of the fans.
In terms of, obviously it's a slow start, the facts don't lie to the season. We all look back and we're all guilty of going, oh, if we won that game, I've got a point here. Do you get involved in that, or can that just end up driving you mad?
No, because you can say the Rochdale game where the goalkeeper, they could have scored, and the next thing Jack makes a save and their goalkeeper miskicks it to Mide and he puts it in. You could quite easily turn around, so that should have only been a point and not 3. So once you start worrying so much about what the if buts and the maybes could be, there's also the reverse element to that, maybe points that we shouldn't have got that we did get. So now from my point of view, it's the league table's fair, and it's the start wasn't great, but we're getting good at that now, getting better.
So the plan for next season is to start the same, is it?
If you keep finishing the playoffs, it's not a bad way of doing it. I know there's little things that we've looked at, and you can imagine, the detail that we go into things. It's almost mind-boggling, really, when you think of what we do to think what is the reason to why. When you actually look at our form, Nathan, in that period, it was good. I think you even said to me in one commentary, is it the same interview time and time again, because we were playing well, we just weren't getting the rub of the green.
What about this whole, you've talked about the fans and how you've adapted as a club. For yourself personally, we've all had to adapt to this new way of life. Have you learned anything about yourself? Not just about Carl the footballer, but Carl the person?
I think we all have to continually keep learning, because that's what life does to you. If you shut yourself off from a willingness or wantingness to learn, you're never going to improve. And that's with fans, without fans. But certainly in this very unique year that we find ourselves in, I think it's been something that there's always that sense of you're on your own a lot. It's just you and your own thoughts, which is not good sometimes. And sometimes the fans can take you from that moment into a better moment, because that's the drive of the fans. But we all learned, and I think we've learned to cope with it, but hopefully not live with it for too much longer.
We were talking to Dan Harris earlier on about the work with the academy and how he said that horrible stage. Now we have to tell some players that this is not for them. You've got the same situation coming up soon. But I guess the difference this year for you is whatever happens over the next couple of weeks, you've got to tell players you've been part of a very good squad. You're letting players go that, a couple of years ago weren't even in the squad at the time.
Yeah, we feel quite comfortable with the way the squad is right now. There's 1 or 2 changes. There's loan players that will obviously return to their parent club. What we do at them, time will tell. So there's gaps available without doing anything external just yet. But we're working around the clock, and we're already 3-4 weeks ago, we had the wheels in motion about some of the players that we're looking at. I heard someone say to me today, are you looking for the Championship or League One? We're looking for the Championship, because that's our dream, that's our aspiration, that's our desire, our willingness to get there. And there's nothing wrong with looking at that. And in the hope that you're still in this league, the end player then should be good enough to get you there anyway. So that's the level of play that you're looking at. Obviously, you have to wait longer because they might have other options before you. But But that's sometimes why we do business a little bit later, because we wait a little bit longer than what we normally would for the right player.
But not, of course, for Marcus McGuane, who's here already for the new season.
I'm absolutely over the moon with that. He gets a bit of stick around the building. He does get off a little bit with me because I think he's top draw. I think he's got energy and a desire and a willingness to run, that talent that is unquestionable because of where he's been, the clubs he's played for. I think he could really be a star here. I think he certainly is one for the future.
What about this season again, just to touch on it? Have you got a personal highlight? You've said there's games you should have won, didn't, games you shouldn't have won but did. There's been all sorts of dramatic last-minute goals and penalty saves.
Swindon getting relegated.
Good answer.
Listen, they come for us after they beat us. It's probably the best thing that happened to us.
Yeah,
it's the best thing that happened to us. Them beating us, we realised the fans were there because they were right for the message that we got. And then obviously they stick towards us and some of the message that I got from them. It was sole motivation to then understand, because the derby without the fans is not a derby. Yeah. It's not, you know that, even though it still hurts. And we had then that desired effect to then go on a run. And little did they know that they were the makings of this playoff campaign. So yeah, we thanked them for that.
Bit of textual, mate. Robbie Fowler reports today saying he might be the new manager there. So
he won't go there.
There you go, exclusive CV for you. You've already said you can't really allude to too much about players coming. I understand that it's probably not the right even to go into that too much. But there's always, as you said, the work going on right now, and even games being played over the next few days can influence what you do in terms of players you're looking at now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's a really peculiar sort of set of circumstances you find yourself in. I put my wets up in the bin on Saturday, and I put my boots away. I said to Johnny, I said, well, that could be there for 2-3 months now. Little did we know that they were getting polished this morning and getting ready to go again. And it's same with recruitment. You're in the midst of trying to recruit and not recruit, trying to build yourself up for the game. There's players who need more training than others going into the playoff, and we're going into these playoffs really as the underdogs. And it's there's so.
Are you, Carl? I mean, is that Carl Robinson saying that because you're in good form? I know Blackpool finished higher, but you are in good form. Are you? Is that
me playing my games?
Yeah, unlike you, I know. Do you really think you are underdogs?
That's what we're told. So it's but this club's been had a history of that. You know that. It's what makes this club unique. That nobody really truly understands the role that the fans play. No one truly understands the history and the tradition and the people. I know you've been to Lauren before, like Mickey Lewis, the type of people that this club has been built upon. Even when Chrissy Wilder came here and Michael, there was always the underdog sort of tag, because obviously Swindon had been in the Premier League in recent years and so on and so forth, and there was always that. So it's not a bad one to play, but do we feel confident that we can perform in the playoffs and get one better? We have tremendous confidence in ourselves. I don't think that will ever waver, but they finished third in the league table, which is a remarkable achievement. I think Rich has done a wonderful job as well. So I think my hat goes off to him, and also while we're doing this, we have to say congratulations to Peterborough and to Hull, because obviously to go automatically is a tremendous achievement as well. But we feel we're in a good place, and our results into top 6, people speak about it quite a lot, aren't great. They've drawn with us and they've beat us, so they've took 4 points from 6, and we just took the 1. So it's but we're in good form.
You are in good form. And
just in good form.
As a final thought, just take us back to that moment on Sunday. You've got the huddle on the pitch, and you're just waiting for that news. I know at the time it's probably after the game, it's a lot of emotion. You've had time to reflect on that since then.
Yeah, we found out last year, I think it's to our local media channel, that it was Chris Williams, not local media channel, our head of media. And last year we got a phone call to say that you're now in the playoffs. I was like, oh, great. I said, and we're in the playoffs. It was strange, it really was. But to do it on the pitch with everybody that had been through so much, there's a real sense of achievement, and I was really pleased with the players. Yeah, they had the music on, but I've seen videos that came out. I think there's a calmness to us, and I don't think there's anyone getting too carried away, because the big thing for me was that we knew we'd be able to see fans back. I mean, we knew before the game this was a possibility. And I think that was the big sense of achievement, that the people who've supported you from afar for so long have almost got that sense of, we can get behind the lads again. And it was nice hearing cars getting beeping around the stadium and stuff. But it was, that was for the people watching at home. And I want to say congratulations to all the people who've won the awards tonight. Again, the football club finding a unique way to do the presentation and the players' union. Yourself adapting wonderfully well.
Not over yet.
It can certainly go wrong. But again, it's a football club thinking outside the box, and a football club with a drive and a determination to put it in the right place and park it in a league where we feel we can make some sort of dent in it a little bit. And that's a sole aim that we all have, is to get this football club there.
How much stick from the players do you get, having been banned from the dugout for the 6-0 at Crewe and then for the big 4-0 win on Sunday? Does it get a mention, or do you
behind my back? Probably a lot, to my face. No. It's not about me. It never had. It's I have to sit and speak to you on a consistent basis, and sometimes people get a mixed perception of the type of person I am, but it's about the players, and it always has been about the players. I can do what I do at half time, building up to the game. I still, with the staff, there's two Shaw brothers and Moose, and there's good people here. There really is. Leon Blackmore-Such, who's done a tremendous job since he stepped up to the first team during this pandemic. Brownie, what he's done with the two goalkeepers. Amy, and it's a bit unfair naming everybody, but I've got an amazing group of people who work within the football club, and everybody is certainly on point so far.
I know you're looking forward to seeing fans on Tuesday, looking forward to seeing their team as well. We look forward to two great games and hopefully the right results, Carl. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, team.
Carl Robinson and his team preparing for Tuesday night against Blackpool, the first leg at the Kassam Stadium, of course. Stay with us, Carl, as we announce the winner of our next award tonight, the Cabling Company Players Player of the Year. The Cabling Company sponsor our Player of the Month award, as voted by the fans. This was voted in secret ballot, exclusively by the players in the first team squad. In third place was Josh Ruffles. The runner-up was the skipper on the pitch for the year, Elliot Moore. The winner by a landslide was Sam Long. And he joins us now. Sam, congratulations on being recognised by your teammates. It must be very, very special for you.
Yeah, of course. I mean, players always one where you're always obviously voted by your teammates, and it means obviously a lot. You're with them every day, and you play with them, but you're also competing against each other day in, day out, whether it be little competitions in the gym or little five-a-sides on the pitch. But no, to be voted by your teammates is obviously something that I'm really proud of, yeah.
Superb season for yourself, Sam. What's 100th start for the club during the campaign? 6 goals. We spoke after that Gillingham match, and you seemed in sort of genuine shock and emotionally spent, which was not surprising at the time. Can you look back now, remember it? The game, not the conversation with me, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, the first half, I thought we started pretty poorly. I mean, they were on top, and I mean, Gillingham, they make it tough for any team really, and they load the box, they throw everything in, they pump the ball forward, and they made it really difficult for us. But we obviously stayed in the game and believed we could go on and win it. And I said in the interviews after the game, when I scored my first one, I think you saw the reaction of myself and all the boys that we knew we had to win the game, and it weren't a case of celebrating a draw. It was quick get back and go for the win. And luckily, five or 6 minutes later, I got on the end of another cross and obviously put it in, and wow, won the game. And obviously, it's proved to be a massive goal.
The award to from the players. Do you look at yourself now in the squad as a player that others can look up to? I think particularly younger players. We look at the journey you've had. You've been in the club now for so many years. Testament to talent and hard work to get you where you've got yourself. Not least, there was that time when you were on a very short-term deal, looking to prove yourself, wasn't there?
Yeah, of course. And I don't think it's much has changed there. I think even though I've just signed obviously a 3-year contract, it doesn't mean that I can just sit back and just relax. It's more or less keep doing the same things day in, day out, and then obviously, like you say, be there for the young players coming through, because I think we've got a lot of good young players coming through, especially from the academy as well. So no, I like the responsibility and the extra responsibility I've had this year, and no, long may that continue.
Yeah, here. Of course, we can't speak to you tonight without mentioning Sunday and the injury. Can you give us an update, Sam, as to where you are, that situation right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty sore still, but it's a lot better than what it was. Obviously, I think everyone could tell by my reaction that I'd done the same thing, and I knew I'd done the same thing. But for the last couple of days, I've been obviously looking after it and icing it and stuff and doing everything I'm told to do, and it's feeling better than what it was and better than I thought it would have felt. So I'm positive, and I'm just hoping that I can recover quick enough, and I'm positive enough to be able to hopefully help the boys in the playoffs in the next couple of weeks.
Well, again, we all hope that's the case. Now, I'm just hearing, Sam, to finish, we've talked about, that's obviously a low point, the injury from the season. I'm hearing some news that there's a certain shirt number you've always wanted as an Oxford United player. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously coming through the academy, I've always obviously looked up to people in the first team, and yeah, the number 2 shirt is obviously something that, especially this year, the boys have been bantering me about, saying, "Are you ever going to get it?" or "You've got to get it this year." But yeah, the number 2 shirt. Obviously, you're sat with a gaffer now. He spoke to me the other day and let me know that next year I'll be number 2, and that's something that I'm really proud of and means a lot to me, because obviously it's something that I've looked and wanted to have since I was obviously a young kid in the academy.
I think that's a fantastic reward for the work that you've put in, not just for this season, but your whole time with the club, and of course, recognised by being named the Players' Player of the Year. Sam, many congratulations.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
We'll move on to our final award of the season. 20 years ago this month, since Oxford United left our home at the Manor Ground. Back then, the London Road created the most unbelievable, amazing atmosphere. Teams would be scared before games were beginning sometimes and going down the hill towards the London Road. So many great goals, occasions, and of course, nights under the floodlights. Andrew Knapton so often led those chants, becoming the voice of the London Road. Sadly, Andrew passed away before the club moved to the Kassam Stadium in 2001. But friends and fellow supporters clubbed together, they pulled together, and they bought a magnificent trophy which bears his name. And I can just grab that for you right now. There it is. It's awarded each season to the Fans Player of the Year. Now, this season, we're pleased to have Adam White and AWBS sponsoring the award as well as this evening's ceremony. So our thanks to them once again. We asked the fans to vote for their player of the season. Over 1,500 people cast their votes. An amazing 49% of them voted for one player who has been truly outstanding this season. In third place was our captain, Elliot Moore. Of course, a superb season for him. Second place, we've already seen him and spoke to him this evening. Our young player of the year, Jack Stevens. But to cap a truly incredible season, the AWBS Andrew Knapton Supporters Player of the Season is Sam Long. Now, we've just heard from Sam, so we'll give him a couple of seconds just to draw breath while we relive some of his best moments from this campaign. Right foot, left foot, headers, he scores them all. I can tell you a huge smile on his face while watching those highlights. Congratulations once again to Sam Long, the Supporters Player of the Year. The Andrew Napton Trophy is yours. Sam, we talked about your pride at being recognised by your peers, but I guess being chosen by the Supporters Player of the Year is a equally, if not more, gratifying result for you.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's something that I can obviously again be proud of, but it's something that I look at, and I know my teammates see me day in, day out, and see what I put the work in on and off the pitch and in training and stuff. And the fans obviously don't see that; they only see what happens on a match day. And thankfully this year I've been able to contribute a lot towards the season and towards the games and that. And the fans have obviously seen that I've been putting in good performances, and it's something I can be really proud of again, that they've recognised that I've had obviously a good year, and they've voted for me to be player of the season, and I can only thank them for doing that.
One of the many reasons I think the fans have always backed you as a player, and I say this and you'll see what I mean in a second, I think you play like a fan. You have that willingness to win, that attitude of never say die, which is what supporters, of course, want to see. You understand what it means to play for this football club, don't you?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I've grew up playing for this football club, and I live in the area, and a lot of my friends support Oxford, so I know what it means every game, and especially like what the gaffer was saying before in his interview with like the Swindon games, and I know full well. I know me, Ruffs, Matty, we're all local lads, and we all know what it means to the fans in them games. And it's amazing to be able to say the fans have voted for me and for the Player of the Year, because obviously the last few years I've been on the fringes, and this year's been the first year that I've really established myself as a starter. And no, long may that continue, and hopefully I can keep putting in the performances like I have this year, and hopefully I can contribute in the playoffs and hopefully get us to where I think we belong, and that's the Championship.
What about you and Josh this season as fullbacks? Was it, I think, 13 goals between you, numerous assists, often assisting each other? You know, fullbacks in the modern game, we know have to defend and attack, but as a pair this season, you've really hit it off, haven't you? Yeah, of course. I mean, we're good friends on and off the pitch, and it's like you say, it shows. It's the perfect goal, like the Oxford way, really, is fullback to fullback, and we've done that a few times this year, vice versa, with me assisting him and him assisting me. And no, I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's also nice getting the Oxford, Cafe and Carlos. We have a laugh about that every day, and no, it's been really enjoyable, and I can only say good things about Russ. We've talked about what the awards mean to you. Is it fair to say that these will also be a tribute, if you like, to your family who've been following you all the way through United journey, when they can, of course, follow you up and down the country? Of course. I mean, my family's been there, obviously, through all of it, through the highs and the lows. And, of course, my girlfriend and her family as well have helped me as well. So, no, it's been I'd say a joint effort. They've picked me up when I've had my lows and stuff, but they've also been there to enjoy my highs, and hopefully there's many more highs to come. I was at Accrington 8 years ago now. You came on as a sub, I think, played in midfield for a few minutes and kicked a few people, headed a few balls. A night like this of awards must have seemed a long way off when you made that appearance at the Crown Ground as it was then. Well, yeah, I mean, it was... I don't know how long ago that was, 2013 maybe. So it's been a long time coming. I've taken my time, but no, it definitely was. And obviously, then I was just a young kid, just looking to hopefully make a career in the game, and was just proud to be on the pitch for a couple of minutes. But no, it did seem quite far off, and it was something I'd never really thought about. But obviously, this year drawing to a close, and the lads talking about Player of the Year, winding me up about it and stuff. But no, I'm really proud to have said I've especially won both. But the ones that the fans have obviously voted for, it's very special. Yeah, to close, you've won it in the most amazing of years, the like of which we never want to experience a game personally or in a footballing sense you want as a player to play in front of the supporters and to feel that over a match day. It's nice to get the award, but I guess right now what you really want is those fans back, because we're going to get on Tuesday night.
Yeah, of course. It's like, I think Jack touched on it and Moose touched on it as well, that it's just probably the only thing that's been missing this year is the fans, and it's a big boost that it's obviously getting the playoffs and they're allowed to come, and it's just that extra little push, especially from last year where we found ourselves in the same situation and they weren't there, and hopefully with them there this year we can go on better.
And hopefully with you involved as well. Sam, wish you a very speedy recovery from the injury. Congratulations, Players Player and Supporters Player of the Year for this campaign for Oxford United.
Cheers, Nate. Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations to Sam and to all of our winners tonight. The season has been like none other. One constant throughout has been the unwavering support of the incredible Yellow Army. A blistering end to the campaign has seen the U's well in the mix as we enter another exciting playoff campaign. We can't wait to see you through those games. That first game, of course, this coming Tuesday night at the Kassam Stadium, through the turnstiles and once again on the terraces, in the seats, supporting your football club. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. My thanks to the team behind the scenes who've made tonight possible, particularly Liam and Tom and Adam and the rest of the team here at the training ground who've been working on the event, not just tonight, but over the last couple of weeks. To all of our sponsors who've supported us tonight and across the season, but most importantly, to you for being there in spirit, if not person, over the most amazing season that could yet be even better. We look forward to Blackpool. We look forward to seeing you. From all of us at Oxford United, a very good night.
I think the belief in the dressing room, like I keep saying, is so good, and we want to win every game.
If we can perform like that every week and score like that, then we're in every game, and we've got a possibility of ending up where we want to end up.
Whatever comes as a Football League season, whatever our outcome is, I'm proud that he's playing.
Go again! Go again, Sam! Go! Hey, come on, boys, got a job to do still.